Hello everyone and welcome to video number 3. This video is on HCF and LCM. Hope you enjoy the video. Alright guys, so now I'm going to show you an explanation. So I'm going to be explaining what LCM and HCF stand for. So let's start with LCM. LCM stands for lowest common multiple. And it's the lowest common multiple of 2 or more numbers. That is the smallest number divisible by each of the given numbers. Now let's have a look at the explanation for HCF. HCF stands for highest common factor, and it's the largest number that divides 2 or more numbers exactly without leaving a remainder. Okay, so let's have a look at example number 1. So we are going to do LCM, which stands for lowest common multiple of 8 and 20. So firstly, we are going to start off by drawing the prime factor tree of 8. And we need to see what divides into 8. So we're going to see what divides into it, and that is 4 and 2. So 4 is not a prime factor, but 2 is a prime number, so we're going to circle that. And we're going to carry on dividing 4. And 2 and 2 divide into 4. And those are both prime numbers, so we're going to circle both of those. Now let's move on to the prime factor tree of 20. So we need to see what divides into 20. And that is 4 and 5. So 4 is not a prime number, but 5 is. So we're going to circle 5 and carry on dividing the 4. So 2 and 2 divide into 4. And those are both prime numbers, so we're going to circle those. Alright, now we're going to write these out with their numbers. So 8 equals 2 times 2 times 2. And now we're going to see what 20 divides into. And that is 2 times 2 times 5. And you always start with the lowest number when you're writing these out. And now to help us, we are going to be drawing a Venn diagram. So the middle section is the shared column, and that's where we put any numbers that that are seen in both of the different numbers. So this side is going to be the 8, and the right side is going to be for the 20s. So now we're going to have a look, and we need to find numbers that are in both of these columns. So we can see that there are 2 2s here, so we're going to pop that in the shared column. And then we can also see that in the next column, there is another pair of 2s. So we're going to put that in the shared column and we're going to cross that off. But now in the next column, there's a 2 in here, but there's not another 2. There's a 5. So we're going to put those in their own columns. So that means the 2 is going to go in the 8th column and the 5 is going to go into the 20s column. Now that we have all of our numbers in our Venn diagram, to find the LCM, we need to times them all together. All of the ones that are in the Venn diagram. So that's going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Or we can actually solve this equation. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 is 40. So that is how we find the LCM. And 40 is the correct answer. So now we are going to do our first U-try, number 1. And this U-try is going to be a LCM, a lowest common multiple of 15 and 20. So what I want you to do, I want you to pause the video and then write your answer in the comment section down below. Okay, so let's solve this together. So we're going to do the prime factor tree for 15. So we need to see what divides into it. And that is 3 and 5. And these are both prime numbers, so we're going to circle it and we don't have to divide this any further. But now we need to do the prime factor tree for 20 and see what that divides into. And that divides into 4 and 5. So 4 is not a prime number, but 5 is. So we're going to circle 5 and we're going to carry on dividing with the 4. Now 4 can be divided into 2 and 2, which are both prime numbers, so we're going to circle both of those. Now we are going to write these out. So let's start with 15. So 15 equals 3 times 5. Now let's do it for 20. And 20 equals 2 times 2 times 5. And we're going to draw the Venn diagram out, which will help us to find the LCM. So we're going to draw this out. And the left side is going to be for 15 and the right side is going to be for 20. And the middle section is going to be the shared section when we put any of the shared numbers inside. So let's have a look at this. As we can see, there's a 3, but there's no 3 in any of the 20s. So we're going to pop that 3 in the 15s column and the 2 in the 20s column. Now let's look. There's a 5 in the 15s column, and there is a 5 in the 20s column. So we're going to pop that in the shared column. And then we're going to cross that out. And now there's lastly only 1, 2 left in the 20s column. So we're just going to pop that into the 20s column. So now that we have all of our numbers in the Venn diagram, we're going to find the LCM. And that is 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And we always start with the smallest number when writing this LCM equation out. Or we can solve it. And so the answer to this is 60. So well done if you got that right. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at example number 2. We are going to start now on HCF and we're going to do that of 12 and 20. So we need to do the same as what we did for LCM. We're drawing out the prime factors, so we're going to do it of 12. And that can be divided into 6 and 2. 6 is not a prime factor, but 2 is, so we're going to circle that. And we're going to keep dividing 6. And that can be divided into 3 and 2, which are both prime numbers, so we're going to circle both of those. Now we're going to move on to the prime factor tree of 20. And that can be divided into 4 and 5. 4 is not a prime number, but 5 is, so we're going to circle that. Now 4 can be divided into 2 and 2, which are both prime numbers, so we're going to circle both of those. Now we are going to write these out in equations and we're going to do them from smallest to highest. So 12 can be 2 times 2 times 3, and 20 is 2 times 2 times 5. Now we are still going to draw out a Venn diagram just like we did for the LCM, the lowest common multiple. And we are going to have the shared column exactly the same. We put all the shared numbers. The left side is the 12s column and the right side is the 20s column. Now we're going to see the numbers. So there's 2 2s here. We're going to pop that in the shared column and we're going to cross them off. And now we're going to look and there's another pair of 2. So we're going to pop that in the shared column again and we're going to cross that off. And now there's a 3 in the 12s column, but there's no 3 in the 20s column. So we're going to pop that 3 in the 12s column and we're going to pop the 5 inside the 20s column. Now when we find the HCF, we don't just times all the numbers that's in the Venn diagram. We do it what's in the shared column and we do the sum of it. So that means we're timesing it. So we're going to do 2 times 2, or you can solve this and that gives you an answer of 4. So this example is 4. So let's do you try number 2. We are going to do the HCF, which is the highest common factor of 24 and 36. So I want you to now pause the video and then you guys can solve it. And remember, once you've got your answer, to pop it into the comment section down below. So first up, we are going to write the prime factor tree for 24. That can be split into 6 and 4. And these are neither prime numbers, so we can keep dividing them. So 4 can be divided into 2 and 2, which are both prime numbers, so let's circle both of those. And now 6 can be divided into 3 and 2. And those are both prime numbers, so we're going to circle both of those. Now let's do the prime factor tree for 36. So we need to see what divides into it. And those can be 9 and 4. And neither of these, again, are prime factors. So let's do it for 4. And that can be divided into 2 and 2, which are both prime numbers. So we're going to circle those. Now for 9, that can be divided into 3 and 3, which are, again, both prime numbers. So we're going to circle both of those. And we're going to now write these out. So 24 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. I'm going to cross those off. And 36 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And we're going to cross those off. Let's now draw the Venn diagram. This is going to help us to find and solve the HCF. So 24 on the right side, or left side, and 36 on the right side. And the bottom column in the middle is the shared column. So we're going to see there's 2 here and 2 here. So we're going to cross that off and pop that in the shared column. And now there's another 2 and another 2. So we're going to cross that off and pop that pair of 2 in the shared column. Now we have a 2 here, but we don't have another 2 on the bottom. So we're going to pop that 2 in the 24 column. And we're going to cross that off. And now there's a 3 here and another 3 on the bottom. We're going to pop that in the shared column. And we're going to cross those off. Now there's one lonely 3 left. And we're going to just pop that into the 36 column. Now, when we do the HCF, we always go for the middle section and we're going to times it and do the sum. So it's 2 times 2 times 3. Or we can solve this and then we can get 12. So well done if you got that correct. So let's have a look at the conclusion. So we're going to do HCF, and that stands for highest common factor. And HCF is the highest common factor, and you list the common factors or use the lowest powers of common prime factors to find it. And for LCM, which is the lowest common multiple, you find it by listing the multiple, or you use the highest powers of all of the prime factors to find it. Well, thank you guys for watching my video today. So remember to follow me on YouTube, TikTok and Snapchat on @GCSE_Girl. Happy calculating, and remember to watch my next video on my GCSE journey. Bye!